Hey, everyone. This is Let Me See Your Transcript. Hey, everyone. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of my subscribers, my followers, my book people, humidors, 18 followers, pull up team, ENJ Nation, Cookie Crush Crew, all right, and even the people who push the down button. How are y'all doing this morning? Please come on in. I hope you have your coffee this morning. And welcome to Miss Chandler's classroom. Today we're going to talk about the history of Juneteenth, the significance of this holiday. I'm sorry, I am still battling with my. I'm trying to figure out what do I need to do. Did I just have to pass some of these lights? Because they're not helping me at all to do what I wanted to do. See? Maybe they're different backgrounds. If I go anymore, you won't see me. See? Let's just take off no background. Do you see this? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see this? Let's go back to my tried and true. Hey, look at me. I'm pixelated. I'm pixelated. And I don't need to. See? Let's try the lights again. Maybe it's just that background is not very good. Even though I love that background, I really do. It's just doesn't fit me. Yeah. Look at me. I'm going invisible. Hey. I can't move. I move. It'll start going. Okay. All right. Is this better? I'm not sure. Really good. Hi, everybody. Hey, Betty Yella. Hey, hello, Mello. Please hit the like button. You got your coffee this morning? I got my coffee this morning. There's not a special promo. I like to get my mocha. Hey, Dippin'. Oh, can you turn that light on for me? Yeah, thank you. Is that better, y'all? Or no? I think it's a little bit to me. It's not really good. See? I don't. I started away. I started funny. Thank y'all for being here with this. It's all the stuff that I got going on this morning. Where the prayer warriors at? Y'all pray. Y'all, where Mama Oi? Y'all need to ask them to make this better for me. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's see if we can do that. Hey, Dippin', so glad to see you. So today I wanted to go over from a history teacher's point of view, because I've been seeing, watching the news, looking at President Biden signing the Juneteenth National Act, and seeing um, a lot of different Black people from different sectors of society making comments. Some of them are valid. Some of them, I think they're not aware of other things that are going on that made this event really happen. Okay, so makeup. Okay, look, too shiny. I'm trying to make it red, but it always looks like orange on the. Always looks like it's orange. Mm. Maybe I'll pick a different color. I'm sorry, I look at things like that. I don't want to look like I'm not. Yeah, darker than a little bit. I was trying to go with this red, white, and blue thing. You know. Oh, can you not hear me at all? Oh, that sound? I'm gonna turn it off. That's my AC. It makes a big sound. And my dog is I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you. For you, for you. Is that something better? Okay, let me check my audio. Check one, check one, check one. Okay. Oh, this is why. Thank you for telling me that. Okay. Do I sound better, y'all? I turned off the AC. My dog is eating, so you might hear him eating. The sound is going. I'm clear to y'all. Okay, great. I want everybody able to hear me. Okay. So let's go with the history of Juneteenth. Okay. All right. Wait, what is this coming out? Okay. So I'm going to read to you the historical historical facts. I know some of this by heart, but I want to make sure I uh, tell you the correct information. Okay. Mhm. So how y'all doing this morning? Hey there, sexy toy lady. How you doing, sis? How you doing? How are you doing? Okay. Okay, I wanna tell you the correct information. Okay. Okay. In Galveston on June 19th, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger announced the end of legalized slavery in the state. Okay. Remember, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which technically is an executive order. I think of it also as a military executive order because he is trying to undermine the Confederacy's reliance on slavery. So if I want the Union to defeat them in battle, what can I do to undermine their society? Their whole reason for y'all pray for that sexy tent lady, aka Conscious Criminals. Did you ever get my email? She is in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta or South Fulton, right? And a certain man is supposed to show up later on, right? Okay, we'll talk about that later. But let me get through this. But um, and uh, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, and plus there were abolitionists in the Republican Party when they were liberal at the time, and they had wanted him to end slavery, but he was waiting for a Union battle so that public opinion. There were already generals who were emancipating slaves as they were defeating Confederate armies. Then there were others who were returning the slaves to the slave owners. Then there were slaves who realized, like, hey, the people in the blue are fighting against the people in the gray, and people in the gray wants to keep us enslaved. So they picked up on they listened, they were paying attention. Some of them could read and write, and they left. Some became spies. Some became ditch diggers. Some tended to the wounded. Some also became soldiers. A lot of them became soldiers too. Okay. You have the South Carolina Volunteers, which was primarily former slaves, led by a abolitionist. I can't think of his name now. It's a really, really long name. And then you have the 54th Massachusetts, which mostly was free black men, but in the movie Glory, it's shown as that a lot of them were former slaves. But nonetheless, the Emancipation Proclamation says that all the slaves in the Confederate States or those who are in rebellion are free. Not the 4 slave states that stayed in the Union, but the ones who are in the Confederacy. Well, that was January 1st, 1863. Texas is the most western Confederate state. Plus, after the Battle of Vicksburg, which split the Confederacy in half, there was not communication with the east and west side of the Confederacy. Also, the Confederacy was very much behind the times, did not have a lot of railroads, did not have a lot of, what do you call it, telegraphs to get messages. So even when the last battle of the actual Civil War happened, which was June 13th, 1865, the Battle of Palmyra Ranch, the Confederates won, but the war was over. The Union soldiers had told them the war was over, that Lincoln was reelected, he was assassinated, President Johnson was over, and the war was over with. Okay, so June 19th, here comes General Gordon Granger. He lands in Galveston. He reads the proclamation, and all the slaves there are free. Then he moves to Houston and does the same thing. And so one of the things that the free slaves did was a lot of them settled around what is called Freedmanstown, which is near downtown. And then later on, they moved into the 3rd Ward and 5th Ward area. The freed slaves, led by a minister named Jack Yates, who was a leader in the community, purchased a grant of land called which they renamed Emancipation Park. And so every June 19th, they held an Emancipation or Juneteenth celebration. And so, and also it took a while for the rest of Texas slaves to find out that they were free as well, because also some people in the Confederacy brought their slaves to Texas because they thought they were going to get freed. And then some of them made them finish the work before they freed them.
So you still had Emancipation wasn't totally full when Granger landed in Galveston and then moved to Houston. Betty Yellick, no. And see, this is the point I'm trying to make also. I want to tell people this, if y'all can stop saying this. Stop saying that he made this a holiday or they made this a holiday. Because I'm going to explain something about why that statement is problematic. But it's also a good criticism as well to keep us on our toes. Okay. All right. This is from Henry Louis Gates. This is what Granger basically his orders were. This is from Dr. Henry Louis Gates, who's a leading African American historian. This is also from quoted for him from the Root, um, uh, a leading black newspaper or online newspaper. It says the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights, rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present home and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. General Orders, number 3, Headquarters, District of Texas, Galveston, June 19th, 1865. Okay. And it says, when Major General Gordon Granger issued the above order, he had no idea that in establishing the Union Army's authority over the people of Texas, he was also establishing the basis for a holiday. Juneteenth means June plus 19th. Today, the most popular annual celebration of emancipation from slavery in the United States. After all the time Granger assumed command of the Department of Texas, the Confederate capital in Richmond had fallen. The executive to whom he referred, President Lincoln, was dead, and the 13-minute abolition slip was well on its way to ratification. Okay. Okay. And even when he came here, like I said, there were rebels or confederacies who were like, they didn't like the idea of their slaves being freed. And so that there was some violence. Okay. It says some number of ex-rebels in the region took to bushwhacking and plunder. If you ever saw Free State of Jones, you saw what some of the rebels were doing in the towns. Okay. So I wanted to let y'all historically read these words so you can understand. Like, this wasn't like, oh, they made this a holiday out of the blue. I'm from Texas, okay? All right. We were the last Confederate state slaves. My descendants realized once and know that they were free. My family has always celebrated Juneteenth. Always. The state, I can tell you. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I was trying to find the. Okay. Because here in Texas, all right, we have Juneteenth as a recognized state holiday was introduced in 1979 by Representative Al Edwards. So it has been a state holiday since 1979. It is in the Texas history and U.S. history books. So kids, even if you're not from here, if you're in the 4th or 7th grade, you're going to hear about Juneteenth. When North Forest ISD was in existence, because it was predominantly African American school district, they put Juneteenth on the calendar as a holiday for there. I was we used I think I was I doing summer school? Or I think we were sharing their building. HCC was sharing their campus building, and they basically had a note on the door saying June 19th the building was going to be closed because that was a holiday. And I was like, oh, cool. Because I didn't know anybody else was doing that. My aunt told me as long as she has worked, she always took June 19th off. She told her employer that June 19th she was not going to be at work. And I said, really? You just told them that? She said, yeah, I don't work on Juneteenth. And that's my aunt. She's 83. She started working when she was a teenager. And see, if you're not from Texas, you might not know about it. The one time I think I was really impressed, I was on the bus going to my substitute job, and a mom in New York City was quizzing her daughter over what was in her history book. And Juneteenth was in her book. And I was so happy. I was smiling. I didn't want to interrupt them because I was like, oh my goodness, Juneteenth has made it to New York City. You know? And so there are Juneteenth celebrations in Texas. There are some also in Arkansas and Louisiana. But a lot of it's the people who are from Texas who have celebrated, and they've gone elsewhere and they have continued the tradition. There was a really good article from The Root. I really love this author, talked about how her father, who was from Texas, moved to Arkansas and married her mother, and every June 19th, that was a tradition in their home. Like his family, his kids knew about it. They had family over. They were, talking about, and he was always talking about Texas, and this is where we're from, and this is what, and I'm like, that oral history, that tradition is being passed on. Some people didn't get it because they're not from Texas or didn't know anyone from Texas. It's not in their history book. Also, certain southern states have their own date that they celebrate when slavery ended. Like DC, I want to say, if you notice the last couple of years, Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has always been a free state. By the way, Pennsylvania has a very rich history of helping free slaves. They have really good abolition societies. Successfully, I never learned about this in high school. I never learned about it. And see, that's true too. Some people's history books don't have it. And especially if you are a former Confederate state, maybe Texas is the exception because, we think everything Texas is wonderful. So we're going to tell you about it, right? Other southern states after slavery really believed in lost cause ideology. Hey, we lost because we didn't have enough men or people. But the reason for us succeeding was actually right. And so they always was like, oh, what about the good old days? So when they wrote their history books, it was always from the vantage point of like, hey, our slaves were happy. These Union people came down here, tried to oppress us. They don't call the Civil War for decades. They call it the War of Northern Aggression. But the Confederates were the ones that fired the first shot. And then when they talk about Reconstruction, when Black men can vote and they're voting other Black men into office and they're making decisions and their families, Black families are being reunited, they speak it of a very negative manner. Like, oh, they were very corrupt. Oh, they didn't know what they were doing. And so that's why Reconstruction didn't only last this long. And then they started talking about everything else. And that started to change in the 1950s and 60s because now you have Black men and women who fought in World War II who has these medals and these honors, and they fought for a country that don't really care for them. You can't really deny them rights once they get back. Plus, now they got the GI Bill, so now they can go try to get better homes, a better education. They start groups to fight against the segregation. You have people who are reading history books, rewriting history books, changing the narrative on what people were saying about slavery, about history, about the Harlem Renaissance. They're learning about Frederick Douglass. They're putting different things into the curriculum that wasn't there before. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing is there were history books that people grew up with because of where they were. Either you were up north, you didn't know about it, or you were down south in a state that really doesn't want to mention it. But then everybody like me from Texas is like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this for Juneteenth. And you looking at me like, what are you talking about? And like I said, other states have different days. Like when Granger came here, June 19th, we were the last ones. But other states in other cities too had been emancipated. The 4 states that stayed in the Union, they weren't emancipated really until the 13th Amendment got passed. You know? And so yeah, and guess what, sexy toy lady? We have sundown towns too. And you know how sundown towns came about? Is because white supremacists, people with lost cause ideology, want to keep blacks as close to slavery as possible without calling it slavery. So when black people were trying to move and leave after the Civil War, and they would have, go to different towns or communities, they wanted to make sure that their town didn't have too many black people, that the black people were kept in their place. Yeah, it's called Emancipation. That's why every year, thank you, KK DeJoy, for mentioning this. That's why for the last couple of years, with the exception of this year and last year, the day you file your taxes has moved because their Emancipation Day is like April 15th or April 14th or something like that. And depending on what day it's observed on, that might be tax day. So it got moved. That's why. Emancipation Day in DC is in April. For us, it's June. So thank you for pointing that out, KK de jure. So that's why it's such a significance. Now, like I said, black people in Texas been celebrating it. Now, my cousin who had his own business, he did not give us the day off. I used to work for him in the summer. He did not give us the day off for Juneteenth, but we actually had a Juneteenth meal at work that day because that was like I said, that was a family tradition. Okay. And then, like I said, I have some friends and friends. Hey, Vici, actually expands back hard. He said alleged. Okay. Okay. Vici, you probably missed this point. My family has been celebrating Juneteenth for years. A lot of black people in Texas have been celebrating for years. It was celebrated since June 19, 1865, when the first slave farmers they were free. They held Juneteenth celebrations every year after that to commemorate the event. 1979, it was introduced in Texas as a state holiday. So we've had it as a state holiday since 1979. Other states may have a different Emancipation Day. Like DC is April. For the 4 states that set in the Union, it's not until the 13th Amendment is abolished that, all the slaves there are free. Other states, cities, depending on when the Union showed up, that all the slaves were free, or when the slaves decided, like, hey, I see the men in blue, I'm going over there. Okay. Other states, like for us in Texas, it's like, Texas, we think we're unique, which we are, but other places are unique too. But we really want to tell you about it. So, I'm saying, kids in 4th grade, they're gonna learn about Juneteenth. Kids in 7th grade, gonna learn about Juneteenth. Kids in the 8th grade, gonna learn about Juneteenth. In celebration of Juneteenth, I sent my cash app to my white friend. Yeah, help. Hey. That's great, Rev. Hey, Chanel. Hey, Vici. Kay DeJour. Anybody else? That sexy toy lady, Betty. Crowning Empress. What did Crowning Empress say? Hey, Lewis, thank you, Dippin. Hello, Mello. What is someone? We can't be foolish. Okay. It's not necessarily foolish, but it's like if you don't know, you don't know. Like Betty Ellick said. But that's why I'm doing this because I'm like, this is a teachable moment. This is like I'm a history teacher. Let me do this. I was so excited, and that's why I want to tell people stop saying like, oh, they gave us this holiday. No, we gave each other this holiday. Hell, we heard the news and we kept celebrating about it. Okay. My family, like I said, my family celebrates about it. Most Black people here. If you're not a Black person from here, and then you come here and you learn about Juneteenth, you're like, oh, what is that? But guess what? You probably gonna be invited to somebody's barbecue, either church, family reunion, or friend on Juneteenth. You probably gonna be having your own. So it's gonna be like, okay, all right, this is how we do things. I'm just saying. Like I said, Texas had it as a state holiday for 1979 since 1979. Now, let's talk about exactly. Black folks here party hard on Juneteenth than they do on July 4th. They do. Okay, Vici, but I'm a Black person telling you in this state that it's taught. Juneteenth is taught. You missed the point where I talked about other states, especially in the South, those who were lost cause ideology, didn't even teach Juneteenth. Didn't even want to teach Reconstruction because they were teaching about how slavery was the good old days. Okay. Oh, this is great. Oh, that is so sweet. Mrs. MSW. Oh, that's cute. I like that. See, that's true. You never heard it until last year. That's great. All right. Thanks, Rev. So like I said, it's Texas. Like we think unique. We got a whole 2 years one in middle school, one in elementary. Maybe even can say high school too. We take world history. We're talking about the Texas Revolution. It's in our book. Okay. Some other places, transplants from Texas have gone other places and they have their own support. Like right now, there's a celebration happening in Atlanta right now that the toy lady is at. There's one in Philadelphia right now. There's one in San Francisco right now. And Rev, and I think I did see something that y'all are having something today too, right? Houston, we got all kind of it's so many different celebrations happening today. I'm going to one today at 12. I also got to be there early. It's a virtual celebration. I'm part of a group called the Center for the Healing of Racism, and we're having the Juneteenth Ally Awards ceremony. We're having it virtual because of COVID. All right, we are honoring Lupita Nyong'o, a local artist named Mallory, who put on a virtual performance and gave the money to the center. And then we're also giving to an award to the coalition against Houston Coalition Against Hate. We give out awards every year. Okay, there are Lone Star College is having a ceremony. The city is putting one on. They're Galveston, because that's where it started. They're having one starting at 2:00 today until I don't know when they're gonna end. I think Missouri City has a very significant Black population. They're having one. There are family reunions going on today. Y'all mask up because it's COVID still out there. So there are people who are going to do the same thing that they did before it became a national holiday. They're going to do the same thing afterwards. Now, I do. Let's talk about the path to. Okay. Let's talk about. All right, so you did learn in your church. Yeah. Yeah. That's great, son. Ray of sunshine. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. Okay. So let me put this in here so y'all know. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting these messages. Y'all, I'm live. I'm live, y'all. Okay. All right. So let me find so I can put it in here. There's actually, now let's talk about the path to federal recognition. It's actually been going on for the past several years. And did y'all know that there's a Juneteenth flag? Okay. All right. I'm putting a link in the chat for y'all. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah. If no one knows about it, yeah. Okay. All right. So, and my friend told me about this last year. She said, "Oh, um, did you know it was a Juneteenth? I think I posted something, and I think I had the African American flag or the Black diaspora flag that's red, is it red, green? Yeah, red, black, and green." And she was like, "Oh, you should be having the Juneteenth flag." And I said, "The Juneteenth flag," and that's when she sent me this. That it was actually, okay. So this was what it was. Okay, it talks about the history of the Juneteenth, and it says the modern Juneteenth movement. Like I said, there were people pushing for a federal holiday for decades, not just this year. And people are like, "Oh, they gave it to us." Well, the time was probably right now. I mean, we wasn't gonna get it under Trump. Okay, there are people who lobby Congress. There are congressmen. Sheila Jackson Lee, Al Green from Houston, represents Houston area. Ironically, a U.S. Senator from Texas, John Cornyn, which y'all are from Texas, and those not Texas, y'all need to tweet him, be like, "Hey, John, thank you so much for voting and supporting and introducing the Juneteenth National Act in the U.S. Senate. What you gonna do about reparations? What you gonna do about the how you gonna vote for the National Policing Act?" Because that's what Roland Martin made a good point. He was like, "All y'all complaining about, these people who are supporting this bill. Use this opportunity to hold them accountable and ask them what they're going to do next about the other stuff that we want." Because, yeah, I want Juneteenth to be a holiday. I want reparations. I want the George Floyd Policing Act. And I want them to stop with the voter suppression. So it's a talking point. That's why local state elections are very important. You can petition, solicit these Congress people. They on Twitter, they on Facebook, they on Instagram, and they want to look good. They want people to think that they're good. Okay? So here you go. Most recent, 1994, the era of the modern Juneteenth movement began when a group of Juneteenth leaders from across the country gathered in New Orleans, Louisiana, at Christian Unity Baptist Church to work for a greater national recognition of Juneteenth. The historic meeting was convened by Reverend John Mosley, director of the New Orleans Juneteenth celebration. Several national Juneteenth organizations were ignited, including the National Association of Juneteenth Lineage, the National Juneteenth Celebration Association, the National Juneteenth Christian Leadership Council, and the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. Okay. There was also the National Juneteenth Convention and Expo, and then there was the National Juneteenth Celebration Foundation, funded by Ben Haith, who created the National Juneteenth flag. Okay. Reverend Dr. Myers returned to Washington, D.C., established the annual Washington Juneteenth National Holiday Observance, and began to campaign to establish Juneteenth Independence Day as a national day of observance and an official state holiday or state holiday observed in all 50 states and U.S. territories. 2017, 45 states and the District of Columbia have passed legislation to officially recognize Juneteenth. So some states were already through other efforts doing it on their own. The annual Congressional Juneteenth reception hosted by members of Congress at the Capitol was also established as part of the Washington Juneteenth National Holiday Observance. Okay. So please, like I said, go here and click on the history of the modern Juneteenth movement. So like I said, it's not just somebody giving us this day. It's been decades in the making. It just happened to be that this time is right for it getting passed. Now that it gets passed, let's get some other stuff passed too. Okay. This, like I said, this is a Juneteenth flag. Okay. Okay. It was red, white, and blue, just like colors of the country. And then there's a star in the middle because guess what? We're the Lone Star State, and we were the ones that found out last. I'm trying to think. So someone to say what everything means. Okay. So, but I've been seeing like the little fist, the Black Power fist with red, green, and red. I need to probably tweet Twitter and like, hey, y'all need to put the correct colors or the correct flag up there because it's not correct. Okay. Also, I wanted to talk about there's another lady who was, I am sorry, who gets off work on federal. Is it just government employees? Thank you. Very good point. Warrior 1975. Okay, so what has happened is if you work for a company, like for example, like Friday, HCC and a couple of some other businesses chose to start observing it this year because the bill got signed. The act got signed into law Thursday. My other college I work for, they're deciding to start observing it next year. So it's going to be on their calendar of holidays. So a lot of schools, colleges, corporate companies, because it's a federal holiday, they're going to be off. Unless you work in some type of business where they're like the movie theater, restaurants, they're probably going to be open. Okay. But like today is like I said, today June 19th, no banks are gonna be open today. Okay. No, that flag is red, white, and blue. It's just in a different form. What do you mean, Trisha? But good question, Warify. Yeah. So, but yeah, like one of my kind of work for, they were off yesterday. The banks are all closed today. Um, and then the other college work for, they're like, oh, we're going to start next year and observe it. Actually, HCC canceled class today and tomorrow for those who go on the weekend. Yeah. But check with HR, be like, it's a federal holiday. Y'all going to start next year, right? Okay. We just. Mm-hmm. Oh, they could have used different colors. I guess. But you already got the RBG flag. It's red, green, and black. So what other colors would they use besides red, red, and blue? So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about this lady right here. Let me see if I can find her. Her name is Opal Lee. She was at the signing of, where is it? Okay. That's why I'm gonna say, please, please. They're also why I'm saying, don't say they gave us a holiday, because it makes it seem like we have no agency of our own. Like we had no part in it. We had parts in it. We just sitting around like, oh, let's make it. Give the Black folks a holiday. That's not it. Hey, I have 14 people watching. I have 12 likes. Can you other two please click the X, go out, and hey, Mississippi girl. Okay, no, federal banks will be open. All other banks will be open. What other banks? I thought all the banks went by the schedule. Especially if they got that FDIC on there. I didn't think there were any federal banks. All banks just got the FDIC. On the news, it said all the banks were going to be closed. So, um, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to share this with y'all. When, can y'all see this? Okay. When President Biden signed the Juneteenth National Act into law this past Thursday, there was a lady who he handed a pen to. He was also surrounded by Representative Al Green, Sheila Jackson Lee, Senator John Cornyn, Senator Warner from the new senator from Georgia, and I forgot who the other two people were, and VP Kamala Harris. But I wanted to introduce y'all to another lady who was very much instrumental in. Wait a minute, why can't I make this bigger? All right. I want to try to introduce y'all to this lady. This lady is also responsible. Not this morning, DJ Khaled. Not all banks are federal. Okay, Mississippi girl, you telling me something new. Thanks, sis. Hey, need to be stress free. Okay, So I see some of you have come in. Thank you for hitting the like button. I'm just going to give a quick review. I'm from Texas. Texans, especially Black Texans, have been celebrating Juneteenth since General Gordon Granger arrived here and told the slaves that they were free. Even though the other slaves in the other Confederacy found out months, years, a couple of years before. It became a state holiday in 1979. There have been several Juneteenth committees that have met and organized to make Juneteenth a national holiday since 1994. Okay. Now I'm introducing I'll say young lady. Well, she is young. She's cute. I like her. Okay. Her name is Opal Lee. And so she was also instrumental in the fight to make Juneteenth a U.S. holiday. Okay. All right. Opal Lee is 94 years old. Okay. So when you tell me, oh, they just gave us this holiday. No, there are people who have been working on it for a very long time. Okay. And Miss Opal Lee was at the ceremony and she got the pin that President Biden signed this past Thursday. Okay. So that warm and raspy voice, Lee recalls her decades of work in the Juneteenth movement after joining the Tarrant County Black Historical and Genealogical Society, which oversaw local Juneteenth celebrations. But she said that after more than 40 years as a community activist, she really doubled down in 2016 by going bigger. What happened in 2016, y'all? Okay. And Tarrant County is in Texas, by the way, near the Dallas area. At the age of 89, Lee decided her new life mission was that of Granger. I knew I just had to spread the word about Juneteenth to everybody. The best way to do that, she figured, was to help get Juneteenth accepted as a national holiday. Let me tell you something. She was 89 years old when she decided to do this. So don't be disrespecting Miss Opal Lee by saying, oh, they just gave us this holiday. That takes away from her advocacy, her agency, and the work she did. Okay? She decided to start with a walking campaign in cities along a route from her home in Fort Worth, Texas. She's in Fort Worth, to Washington, D.C. It wasn't a straight line. Over several weeks, Lee arrived in cities where she's been invited to speak and walked 2.5 miles to symbolize the 2.5 years it took for enslaved people in Texas to learn that they were free. All right. Oh, that was one from last year. Yeah, that's the little fist that they've been showing on Twitter when you put in Juneteenth. I was thinking that surely somebody would see a little old lady in tennis shoes trying to get to Congress and notice. Since then, Lee has become known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. Her annual walks coming in a trip to the Capitol in September, carrying a petition signed by 1.5 million Americans urging Congress to pass legislation for a holiday. It wasn't a success, she said about the trip. Undeterred, she returned again in February as a new version of the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act was reintroduced. Do you understand? It was introduced before. DJ Khaled, the Federal Reserve Bank is a nationally owned entity. Yeah, but the Federal Reserve Bank is not an actual bank that you actually go to and get money. They actually regulate the money supply and monetary policy. They wasn't even going to be open today. Okay. Do y'all see that? It was reintroduced. Look, she said she brought a petition back in last September. Who was president last September, y'all? You think he was going to really sign that? Come on now. So, it's difficult. Okay. Yeah, it's difficult to get any day declared a U.S. holiday. Technically, there's no such thing as a national holiday because neither the president nor Congress has ever asserted power to declare a holiday that binds all 50 states. Instead, the two branches established permanent federal holidays that only legally apply to federal employees across the nation and in the District of Columbia. Meanwhile, states independently establish their own holidays or commemoration days. Until Juneteenth, there have been 10 federal holidays for the country at large. Now, this saying this, colleges, schools, most corporations, they have the same holidays as well. States may have extra holidays of observance depending on where they were. So before Juneteenth became a federal holiday, Juneteenth was a holiday for state employees, and they got that day off. Okay. Before the passage of the Juneteenth legislation by the House and Senate this past week, there have only been 4 new holidays added to the national calendar in the past 100 years. Let that sink in for a minute, y'all. 4 new holidays were added to the national calendar in the past 100 years. The last one was in 1983 when President Ronald Reagan signed a bill adding Martin Luther King Day to celebrate King's contribution to the civil rights movement. It was a 15-year journey that began in 1968, 4 days after King was assassinated, and it wasn't observed until 1986. Even then, it took nearly 2 more decades for all individual states also to recognize the holiday. I want to say either Utah or Arizona. This was like back in the mid-90s, because they were kind of like which states were not celebrating MLK Day, or I want to say it's Utah. Yeah. It was Arizona. Among the most avid opponents was Arizona, which didn't come around until 1995, a couple of years after the NFL moved a Super Bowl game to California in protest. It was a move that cost the state an estimated $500 million in revenue. Okay, so what's that wrong? South Carolina also resisted national pressure to acknowledge the day until 2000. Really, South Carolina? Not surprised. They're the hotheads of the South. They tried to nullify a federal law in 1830, and then they the first to secede from the Union. I'm not surprised. When they finally agreed to give state employees a paid holiday off, the fight in that state revolved around an effort by the governor to fly the Confederate battle flag over the state. Lord have mercy. To get around the controversy, he eventually signed a bill declaring 2 holidays: Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day, and Confederate Memorial, which is celebrated in May. Oh, Lord. Okay. As for Juneteenth, there has been a surge in recognition in recent years by local and state governments. 47 states acknowledged it in some way, with some, including Texas, declaring it a paid holiday. See? The price tag was a major hurdle. One challenge elected officials was the cost. That was true for Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day, and it became a roadblock in the case of Juneteenth. According to 2014 estimate of the White House Budget Office, it costs $660 million to cover a day of payroll and holiday premium pay. That was a stumbling block. Oh, yeah, this is the guy I don't like. Stumbling block for Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, who voted against the Juneteenth legislation in 2020 when it was first introduced. Oh, Lord. I tell you, while he favored celebrating the end of chattel slavery, the practice of enslaving the only people and their offspring as property to be bought, sold, and forced to work without wages, he said he could not get behind paying for another day off for federal workers. At the time, he suggested dropping one of the 10 federal holidays. Oh, Jesus. How racist you got to be? That I want a day off. Hell, you are a federal employee. You're going to get paid off for that day yourself. Let me calm down. All right. This year, Johnson's concern was overridden by the Senate's overwhelming support. While it seems strange that having taxpayers provide federal employees paid time off is not required to celebrate the end of slavery, it is clear that there is no appetite in Congress to further discuss the matter. Therefore, I do not intend to object, he said in a statement. Lord have mercy. I bet he voted against the January 6th commission too. All right. Still, several House Republicans raised the same issue Wednesday, including Representative James Comer, who voted in favor of the bill. He complained the Congressional Budget Office hadn't been given time to consider the impact of granting the entire federal workforce another day off. A day before the House vote, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, the Democrat from Houston and one of many who sponsored the act, dismissed the problem of the price tag and called it a distraction. It was a distraction. I thought we would lose our shirt by adding only one other holiday that commemorates the life, the legacy, and the history of African Americans. K du jour, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? During this vote, Jackson Lee held up graphic photos of the brutality and legacy of slavery. One showed the welt scars on the back of a man who had been savagely whipped. Another showed the gruesome hanging of two black men during the Jim Crow era. The lifeless body stood at the center of the frame, flanked by a dozen of smiling white men looking directly at the camera. On the phone, Jackson Lee remarked on the inherent characteristics of celebrating Juneteenth and the sadness of knowing that free people remain enslaved after they should have been released from bondage. 2 years and they did not know. How many lives were lost? What kind of brutality did they face in that period of time? Yet, she concluded, it allows little children in schools to be taught the wonderment of America and that America can overcome its ills to be able to rise to its better days. Despite the history of its ills, Jackson Lee said, what better concept to rally around in the idea of freedom for us all? Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Black Anonymous. Glad you can make it. Yeah. This is just saying how Martin Luther King for that holiday faced an uphill battle. Remember he started speaking out against the war. Okay, let me see. For Opal Lee, whose paternal great grandmother was born into bondage in Louisiana, this Juneteenth is like a dream. I know I would see it happen in my lifetime, she said with a throaty laugh, but I have to keep it cool. She delighted the day will be an official holiday when she straps on her white sneakers for the annual 2.5 walk. The nonagenarian said everyone all over the country can cherish it as a duty of unity. The walk this year will be national, Lee said. In addition to the Fort Worth event, organizers in Houston, Los Angeles, Atlanta, New York, and other cities have set up walks to commemorate the day. I told you there's a lot of different celebrations. With every step, Lee said, she'll be praying and giving thanks. I'll be thinking of my ancestors. I'll be thinking about my great-great-grandchildren and my grandchildren and my children. She's 94 years old, y'all. She started working on this holiday when she was 89, Miss Opal Lee. Yeah. This is hold on. I can't y'all see that. Okay. I was trying to show y'all the picture where she was in the photo. Okay. I'll see if I can. Okay. Stop. Okay, Miss. Okay. My credit union bank is something that they said they will be closed next year, but because it was short notice. Yeah, that's true. Like it was short notice. Why I think that's why Lone Star was like, we'll do it next year. We'll start next year. Okay. But yeah, that's a lot of people thought the same thing too. It's like we've been we read like the George Floyd policing act, and right now the reason why it hasn't gone to Biden's desk because there's more people who have not voted for it than there are 14 people who voted against Juneteenth, by the way. 14 people. There's more people who didn't vote for the George Floyd policing act, and they're holding it up. There's 13 people who are holding up the January 6th commission being formed. Two, This is also why the Anti-Asian Hate Crime Act got passed. There are people who see Asian people as non-threatening and as a model minority. So they had no problem with that. But black people, yeah. But like I said, Black Anonymous, you missed the point. I said earlier. Juneteenth, the lobbying for Juneteenth to be a holiday has been decades in the making. My family, Texas, been celebrating it since June 19, 1865. Free slaves had children, family unions, church events, sponsoring, celebrating Juneteenth. People from Texas move somewhere else, their families, communities, they celebrate Juneteenth. In Texas, it's been a holiday, state paid holiday since 1979. 1994, the Juneteenth movement started. They had several national meetings, lobbying by congressmen. This little lady named Opal Lee, 94 years old, started lobbying, doing walks to get Juneteenth to be a national holiday when she was 89 years old. So, in that scheme of things, having Juneteenth as a national holiday is really long overdue. But guess what I said earlier? If you look at Congress and who voted for the Juneteenth celebration, it's time to call them, email them, and tweet them and say, hey, thank you so much for signing the Juneteenth National Act, voting for it. What you going to do about the George Floyd Policing Act? You're going to vote for that too, right? It's time to hold those people accountable. They on Instagram, they on Twitter, they on Facebook. So let our fingers, let our Twitter fingers, Instagram fingers get the walking. Okay? And I got that from Roland Martin. He made a very good point. Yes, he's a fellow Texan and a fellow Aggie like myself. And he attended Jack Yates High School, which I told you Jack Yates was a freedman and one of the leading black pastors in the area. And he and the other black pastors pulled their money and they bought some land where they can commemorate and celebrate Juneteenth every year. And that park is now called Emancipation Park, where the George Floyd Memorial is also located. They got there this past year. But okay. All right. So I wanted to show you something else. Where is it? Those of you who weren't here earlier, this is the official Juneteenth flag. Reason why I got a star. We were the last state to become a state. So Lone Star. It was created by Ben Haith, who was on a part of his own National Juneteenth organization foundation. There are lots of Juneteenth organizations. Like I said, this has been in the wake. They've been doing this for decades. Okay, let me show you. Oh, I was going to show you Miss Opal Lee. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Ooh, not him. Lord forgive me. That was the wrong person. But also, people have made some very valid points. They're like, how are you going to say, hey, it's a federal holiday now, or but we in Texas we can't treat critical race theory. Like, how are we supposed to do that, Sway? How, Sway? Wait, where is the download? My dog is next to me. He wants me to pet him. He's my little boo-boo. Hey, Charlotte Wynn. Thank you so much, Charlotte Wynn, for that gift. I got it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. Or you want to be on the news? You want to be on the YouTube? My dog wants to be on the YouTube. Okay. Kid. Oh. Okay, let's see if I can share audio. Ah, here you go. All right. Do y'all see little Opal Lee? I'm sorry, I should call her little Opal Lee. Okay. That's left right here, Representative Al Green. He is my congressman in my part of Houston. She was actually right here in the pink. She is the right side. She's on the northwest side of Houston. This is Opal Lee, the little 94-year-old lady. Okay. I forget who this lady is. I've seen her before. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. And John Cornyn is in one other picture, but there's a picture where they're like he's signing and he hands her the pen. But I want y'all to see her. Like she was like, so don't say like, oh, they gave us this holiday. There were people working on this for decades. There are people in Texas who've been celebrating. Y'all just catching up with us. Please don't disregard all the hard work that they did. Yes, we do need a George Floyd Policing Act. But like I said, go to the I think it's is it house.org? Yeah, house.org or senate.org. See how the person that represents your community voted on it. If they voted for it, then you need to go to them on Twitter, Instagram, or email them because they have websites you want to call. You can call their offices and say, hey, I appreciate you voting for the Juneteenth National Act. How are you gonna vote on the George Floyd Policing Act? Don't you think if more of us did that, it'd be more effective? Oh, damn. Stephanie, damn. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Did the city employees get off too? But like I said, this was kind of short notice. So next year, you should be getting a full day. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Oh, no, y'all. I dropped my damn drink. Sorry, y'all. I just spilled my coffee, and my dog is trying to lick it up. It's going to be hyper. Boy, move. Boy, stop. Stop. Hold on now. Oh, sorry. Boy, you just gonna lick everything, huh? Can you get that bottle? The spray bottle?
Where's the spray bottle?
It's in the closet. No, get it in the restroom. The one that says Clorox. Thank you. Whew. Oh, thank you. I decided to put my hair up today. It's Juneteenth. Bless you. I spilled my coffee. He drunk it. Now you about to get hyper and jittery. And see what I have. How ending qualified. I gotta look at the George Floyd Policing Act to see really what it says. Yeah. You say it, yeah. Yeah. They do. Then you have some states are trying to pass laws, trying to stop, protesters, from, exercising their First Amendment. Stop. Get from over there. Just trying to lick the thingy. Sorry. Some good. I still have some coffee left in the container, but I'm glad it could have been worse. Oh, they're gonna go bankrupt if they had to do that. All these police shootings, they're gonna be like, we can't carry you. We can't carry you. Some city's gonna be you can't get insured. If you had too many incidents, and the insurance company's like, sorry, we can't carry you. We're going to cancel your policy. We're going to cancel your whole police force policy. It's y'all got too much stuff going on. Mm-mm. All these payouts, no. Oh, that's a good point. Let me go find it. This girl, George Floyd. Okay. All right. Let me do a share screen. Share audio. Share the tab. Okay. All right. So it passed in the House. It was introduced in the House, passed in the House. This is www.congress.gov. Let me put that in. Put that in the copy. Let me put this in the chat. Maybe I need to do another live just for that. Okay. All right. So you make it bigger so y'all can see. All right. So there have been 2 roll call votes. It's been received in the Senate, but I guess they had. Hold on. What did they do in the Senate? Okay. Received in the Senate. Motion to consider later on the table. Agreed to without objection. On passage, passed with the yeas and nays. It's in the House. 220 to 212. Okay. Woo. I think this is a roll call. Oh, you can see how. Y'all can see how the people voted. What? Oh, I'm gonna put this in the chat, and y'all go check y'all person out. I'm telling y'all, we gotta make these people accountable. We can complain, but we need to let them know, like, hey, we voting for you. This is how you voted for this. Okay. See, it said it received in the Senate 3-9-21, but they haven't voted on it. You might already know who part that is. Probably that goddamn Mitch McConnell. I'm gonna blame everything on him. Let me see. See, yeah, one action by the Senate. They just received it. They didn't do nothing. If it's received, I think it's waiting to get sent to a committee. Okay. Still, yeah. All right, let's go to the summary, or should we go to the text? Okay, let's just go to the summary because we might be here a while, and I have to leave in a few minutes because I have to get ready for my virtual Juneteenth event. The bill addresses a wide range of policy ensures regarding policy. Hold on, the bill. Okay, you know the three things it's gonna do. All right. Lowers the criminal intent standard from willful to knowing or reckless to convict a law enforcement officer of misconduct in a federal prosecution. Limits qualified immunity as a defense to liability in private civil action against a law enforcement officer. Okay, I'm going to need maybe another time for Stephanie to come up here and help me decipher this. Grants administrative subpoena power to the Department of Justice and pattern or practice investigation. So does that mean like what they just did? You know how like some of the parents have been soliciting the DOJ to come and investigate a case. Does it make it easier for the DOJ to come in? It establishes a framework to prevent and remedy racial profiling by law enforcement at the federal, state, and local levels. It also limits the unnecessary use of force and restricts the use of no-knock warrants, chokeholds, and carotid holds. Oh, that would be great. Jesus. It's too white, you know, and this is the thing. People say about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter do defend white people who are the subject of police violence too. Like the two white people that got here had a no. I think it was a no-knock warrant, and they found out the cops involved lied. The bill creates a national registry. Oh, the National Police Misconduct Registry compile data on complaints and records of police misconduct. It also established a new reporting requirement, including on the use of force, officer misconduct, and routine policing practices. See? Finally, it directs DOJ to create uniform accreditation standards for law enforcement agency and requires law enforcement officers to complete training on racial profiling, implicit bias, and the duty to intervene when another officer uses excessive force. Yes. Okay, I definitely got to tweet John Cornyn today. Like, hey John, thank you so much for making Juneteenth the national holiday. How you gonna vote on this policing act, George Floyd policing act? Let's say y'all received it. I think there's a piece in the deal about qualified immunities. Okay. Let me like I said, I'm gonna put it in here so we all can read it. We all gonna get on it. We got Juneteenth. Let's get the George Floyd policing act there. Hell. So before I go, we're going to talk about ways you can celebrate Juneteenth today. Google a place. Google Juneteenth celebrations in Google for your community. Most likely, the county or the city you live in is having a celebration. An organization, as the one I work with, is having one. There are virtual celebrations for those of us concerned about COVID. I know parts of the Gulf right now experiencing a tropical storm, so you're getting a lot of rain, so you probably really don't want to go out. There are things like PBS. Okay, PBS has a really good thing about Juneteenth. The History Channel. Okay. Look at all the Black organizations in your community. What are they doing? What is your church doing? You know, do you have a relative or a friend having a barbecue? Hey, can I come? I'll bring the ice. Like, you know, like Rev G said, he sent his cash out to all his white friends. Because some of them probably don't feel a bit guilty right now. I'm just saying. Used to your bench. Just saying. There's a movie. I gotta show you this movie. Yeah, I gotta watch this movie. It's free on YouTube. Oh, damn, it was free. Oh, wait. I think this is free. Okay, well, I found a free version. Wait. Which one is the free version? Hold on. Damn it. Did take it off? Dang it. Bruh, so fast. It's called Miss Juneteenth, y'all. And I found out about this like in December. So I was like, oh, was it? You might have to rent it, but I thought it was on here for free. It's 1 hour and 39 minutes. I'll share it. Man, I wish I could have swore I saw this on here and it said free. It's a YouTube movie. And the girl and the lady from I can't think of her name. She played Jackie Robinson's wife. And she played in that movie uh series they cut off that my friend was really upset about. Um okay, I can't think of her. Her name was Nicole Berry. So I'm gonna put this in. But yeah, I was like, yeah, we need to watch this. Well, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do a review. How about that? I'll watch it later and I'll tell y'all about it. And I'll be like, y'all should go watch it. But because I was trying to find out like Juneteenth thing, because some people like they might not be ready for a documentary, but you might be ready for a reenactment. You know, I need to see if I can ask my director, is there a way I can get a copy of today's awards? Because I want people, I mean, I love Lupita Nyong'o. So let me stop that. Okay. Yeah, this is the movie I was talking about. But I could have swore I saw it. But you know what? You never know. It might be on somewhere else for free. But it should be on there for free too. Okay. Let me see if I can find um PBS has something on Juneteenth. Let me put that on there. You just want to know more about it, you know? I'm a history. Hey, what you want to know? How can I get it to you? Mhm. I was gonna say a really good film to watch if you just want to know like what did black people do once they found out they were free. A really good dramatization of that is Roots, the original Roots, uh, episode 8. It shows like what black people. It's on BET Plus, or you can rent it from Amazon for $4. Oh, okay. Thanks, Stephanie. Um, Also the movie Free State of Jones. It was a good dramatization. I want to say Free State of Jones. Hold on. Free State of Jones does a really even more excellent version of what black people did when they found out they were free. It also shows you like what did white people try to do to stop them. But it does a really good, like I said, dramatization. Also, there's a Texan Pulitzer Prize winning author. Uh Her name is Annette Gordon Reed. Okay. She's African American. She won a Pulitzer Prize on her book Juneteenth. Okay. So if you like a person like, hey, I want to read more about it. Okay. There you go. What else I can show y'all too? I'm trying to think. What other videos? Oh, this group right here, I like. They take a fun spin on it. Is it laugh out loud? They did a I think that's them. They were doing a kind of like a funny take on the whole, it's free. Oh, is it really free? They're I have to find it for you so I can put it in there. Um, but hey, if you are looking for one, going to one, you want to watch something about one, just like hey, these are options. Yeah, you can buy the movie, the Miss Juneteenth movie. You can rent it on YouTube for $3.99 in high definition. If you're just gonna do a standard definition, it's $2.99. If you're gonna buy it in high definition, it's $9.99. And if it's standard definition, it's $7.99. Oh, is the way I can like purchase it and then send y'all a Zoom link. And we all can watch it. You think that's possible? Would y'all be interested in that? Should I be saying this out loud on you? Just saying. But like Stephanie said, you could get it for $4. Um, all right. Are there any questions, comments, suggestions? So what we gonna do to the representatives? Oh, I forgot to show y'all this. Hold on. Because y'all need to know this part. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Because not only you need to make the ones who voted for Juneteenth accountable, you need to make the ones who didn't vote for it accountable too. So I'm gonna give you guys. I think maybe on Thursday I should do more politics or national stuff. Then I can just do this. Okay. Okay. But then I'm not gonna be like. Okay. Okay. All right. Please hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. Thank you so much if you've already hit the like button. I appreciate that. I do. Hey. Okay, where is and oh Lord. Wait, did it go? Okay, why is it not sending? Okay. Okay. All right. I want to show you. Yeah, I think there is. I gotta go back and check. Um, it's so many bills being passed in the Texas legislature and under this governor. It's just every damn week is something. I do need to do a better job of keeping up. But yeah, I think you're right. Let me show y'all this so that y'all know. Like I said, the people who voted for Juneteenth, we need to ask them, hey, thank you, but how are you voting for the George Floyd Police Act? And then to these people right here that I'm about to show you that didn't vote for Juneteenth, be like, seriously? So how are you going to vote for the George Floyd Police Act? If you couldn't even vote for Juneteenth, what? Okay. These are the people, y'all. Representative Mo Brooks, Alabama, I'm not surprised. Representative Andy Biggs, Arizona again, but Paul Gosar, Tim, California, really? But they're Republicans, so I guess okay. Rep Andrew Clyde of Georgia, Robert Thomas Massey, Kentucky, Matt Rosendahl, Montana, Scott Desiree, Tennessee, Ronnie Jackson, and Chip Roy. Okay, y'all need to turn y'all Texas card. How dare you? We're from Texas. It's a damn travesty. Representative Tiffany from WI's Wisconsin. So you got one liberal state, Midwestern state, 3 southern states. What's MT? Montana? No, 4 southern states. Tennessee. Kentucky. Okay, see. I bet they're gonna say, oh my goodness, does he represent your area, Chip Roy? He sound like a cookie that's been rejected. Like, what you eating? Chips or hard? No, I'm eating. Nah, just Chip Roy. Chip Roy. Why you turning your Texas card? How? Were you born here? When do you see your papers? You see a birth certificate. Okay, no, but he's controversial, so he gets news. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lord. Matthew McConaughey, can you please run for? Okay, I want to thank all of you for being with me here for a little bit over an hour and a half while I explain the history of Juneteenth, its path to a federal holiday, and how you can celebrate it today. Please have some barbecue, some potato salad, dare I say, red soda. I see your transcript, report card, and 2 forms of ID. Oh, no tabletop school. Oh, that is funny. That's funny. Thank you, Betty Yellow, Hello Mellow, Dippin', Warrior 5, Warrior 1975 5. That sexy toy lady, please say dry. Crowning Empress, Trisha Chanel, KK De Jour, Vici, the Rainbow Rev, Mrs. MSW, Ray of Sunshine, Stephanie Collins, Dippin', Mississippi Girl, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Benita B, Stress Free, DJ Khaled, Betty Yellick, Black Anonymous, thank you for coming. Charlotte Wynn, thank you for being here. HM, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And this is just to inform other people, like, hey, I learned from this history teacher about Juneteenth. I think you need to watch this. You are so welcome, that sexy toy lady. I'm gonna subscribe to your new channel. Is this your new channel? Okay, so sexy toy lady. I'm actually late to my event. So have you seen the person of the hour? Where you at? I will need to interview you later or call you later. He's supposed to be there at 5. Are you gonna go live? Hey, hell him up. Are you gonna go live? I want you to go live so we can see. I want to see. I want to. Okay, well, those of y'all don't. If you want to, that sexy toy lady, tell them who's supposed to be where you are at 5 o'clock today. I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna be. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that sexy toy lady or conscious criminal, because somebody special is supposed to show up at 5 today. Where she's at. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, the same one that's coming to Houston in July. Lord. Oh Lord. Y'all subscribe to that sexy toy lady. Y'all do that. I'm gonna be standing by. I'm gonna set my alarm. I think this is your new channel, right? Your other, she has 2 channels. I wonder what kind of looks I get if I went to a park and walked up to one of the cookouts and said, "Hey, y'all," I was like, Don't do that. Don't do that, Stephanie. You're gonna get hurt. Don't do that. You better bring some ice. Oh damn. Damn. Sorry, y'all. This is my breakfast. I'm having it late. Well, good luck. I'm looking forward to your live or your recording, sis. Do I need to give you my number in case you need some bail money? I won't leave you in there. Here's my email address. Email me, I'll send you my number. I'm for real. I won't leave you in there. Oh, tell her happy birthday. And tell her she is born on a very special day. Wait. No, I got bail money, but I don't want to hurt him. Just talk. That's it. Okay. Mm. But maybe she got a different outfit on. He might not know who she is. And he don't know what her sons, her boys look like. Delete that, sexy lady. Delete that. Okay, y'all, I really gotta go. I'm so late to my next thing. But I love y'all. Thank you for being here with me. Coming into my YouTube classroom today. And listening to me talk about Juneteenth. So those probably gonna be a lot of y'all know where the sexy toilet is Georgia. Because it's raining there. Because they got the tropical storm is bringing a lot of the rain over there. See, she got you. We won't leave you in there. Seriously, email me though. If you need some help, I'll send you my number. Yeah. Just be like, hey, it's me. Let me see your transcript. You crazy. Get Stephanie. Tell Stephanie. Pimp down, 911. Okay. All right, y'all. Love y'all. For to go to my virtual Juneteenth celebration. I have 2 extra virtual tickets, so if any of y'all here, email me and I'll send you the link so you get to come to the ceremony too. I think it's going to be really great. So talk to y'all later. Yeah, I think I'm going to pimp down. We're going to leave you down there. Peace. Love y'all. Happy Juneteenth.